Well, yeah.
Right, tell you what, who's on pole position or not on pole position, as the case may be?
Pole position. Where's the grid sheet? Have you got the grid sheet there?
No, I haven't got it. 'Cause I'm
Okay.
staring out the window. I'm looking at.
Finn Chalk would have been there.
Okay, Finn Chalk's obviously gone home. Who was 6 on the grid, mate?
Good question.
Okay, let's not worry about that. Oh, whoever that was who was 4th on the grid has made a terrible start there. Looks like some classic old fat packet levels he's got on there. Either way, we still have quite a ball of spray as we go down into Redgate for the first time, so I think that answers any questions about how wet the track is. Because when you've got spray like that coming off these tyres, the skinny tyres, the CB500s, that tells you it's quite soggy out there indeed. It'll be safe to red rate. Go on, mate.
It was David McConaughey who would have been there 6th on the grid.
Okay.
I mean, it's raining, but they're still going 3 wide almost around the training curves. First 4-5 are through safely, as is the rest of the chasing pack, and to go through the Craner curve section then on towards the old hairpin for the first time of 10, and it's quite treacherous down there, isn't it? But through underneath where Starkid's Bridge was, not quite sure when they removed Starkid's Bridge, but either way it's not there anymore. And through Schwantz and McLean, so it's difficult to tell. I mean, we've got drops of water on the window next to us here, looking across the circuit over at Schwantz and McLean, but unfortunately as well, these bikes don't have a lot of fairings and colours to go off of. So,
no, they don't. There's not a lot, a bit like the MZs really. There isn't a whole lot to go by there, of course. So it's got an amended result there. So I'm not quite sure what the amendation was there.
As they went through went in towards sector number 2. It's number 14 of Liam McPherson, who is being credited with the race lead. He started 9th on the grid, did number 14, Liam McPherson.
That's an impressive ride. There's a spanner in the works as far as the championship goes, because obviously the championship very much between McRae and North.
Look at that gap that he's got there. That is definitely Liam McPherson out in front. A name that I recognise, Keith, from Oliver's Mountain. He's ahead of Luke McRae and Ben Round. And it looks like Adrian Kershaw's looking down at his machine. That will be pivotal for 3rd in the championship.
Jake goes up, he's trying to pull across the track, gets to the escape road, but you're right. Oh no, that's a great shame.
Not sure if it looked like something that's hanging down towards the rear, whether it's like a chain or a gear lever, or who knows. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter what the reason is, it has forced him to retire, so that will be crucial for 3rd in the championship. Jay Corty will be rubbing his hands together now. This will be a late birthday present for him.
Yeah, just a day too late, but nonetheless, it definitely gives him a little bit of an advantage in this race. He came across the line in 4th place. He wasn't too far behind Round there, Ben Round. But McPherson, what a great start, making up 6 places at the start there, leading across the line for the first time from Luke McRae there. Other big move as well. Dan North going backwards by a few places there. Rob Carver making up a few places. Tucker going back quite a few, the impressive rookie from yesterday. D. Carver making up a few places. Gregory showing us making up 10 places on the opening lap there. So it's all chopping and changing all the way throughout the field. Be interesting to see how well it settles down. Have a look at that split sector time there. There's only one person under a minute. That's your leader, McPherson, who's doing an amazing job. Definitely a web feet job. He's around about 8/10 of a second quicker at the first split. Kershaw doesn't get to the first split. That might simply be a transponder.
Kershaw's retired,
retired, of course. Who's that also not making the
Ian Carter, unfortunately. No working transponder for the number 15 machine either. That's Chris Rowland.
Okay, so he'll come up on the screen as well as McPherson leads across the line from McRae. Now McRae 3.5 seconds behind. Obviously the big battle here is that one between McRae and Dan North. Now where is North? He's in 6th place at the moment, so he's looking to pick up 10 points, but at the moment McRae's looking to pick up 10 more points, and that could be absolutely crucial in championship terms. That could be a last race shootout as well, so it could be some good action this afternoon, could be, Bradley?
Yeah, what were the points there, sorry?
16 points separating them.
In favour of?
In favour of Dan North.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the moment, as the way it stands at the moment, if we want the live point update, it will be 6 points advantage to Dan North with 1 race to go.
However, lead, that is so impressive.
That is unbelievably impressive. He's done a 1:31 for his best lap. You think, okay, everybody else is the 1:32.5, second and a half slower than him, basically. So that is just an incredible pace. The rain is coming down heavier now, mate. Look at our window there, our little guide. We can see it pattering away on there. So definitely no doubt about the conditions here. Very soggy indeed. I think that's going to be with us easily for the afternoon, which is genuinely good to hear. Dan North, let's not write him off though. He's suddenly dipped into the sub 1 minute times there at the first split. Also going under that time is Luke McRae. But of course North has got Corky, Carver and Round in front of him as they come across the line. McPherson how much quicker did he go this time? He does a 1:31.1. Behind him, McRae, who's obviously finding his feet, does a 31.8.
Oh, number 29 of that's Robert Carver was cruising across the line here. He's looking down to the left-hand side of the machine as well. Through
another one.
Yeah, that looks like Jake Corty found a way through, as did Dan North, and that's a 72 machine.
Well, that could be critical, that retirement, in terms of points, of course, in the championship, because that's going to move North up one. He's come across the line in 6th, but now all of a sudden he's in 5th place, because Carver was immediately in front of him. And we know that North is on the move anyway. He's going to have Corty in his sights very shortly, but of course, Jake is a very rapid rider as well. Look at that, 3-4 abreast across the line in the midfield there. Really good scrap with Dwyer, Goff, Silver, very close indeed, those guys. Separated by literally fractions of a second. Big battle of them going down into Redgate, and it's definitely getting soggier down there, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, don't envy those guys out there on the circuit. They're splashing around, but Liam McPherson, he has a 3.7 second advantage. First split time's coming through, and for the first time in this race, it's over a minute now by 0.04 of a second. I'm sure he won't be too worried about that, because he is going 0.3 quicker than the man behind and half a second quicker than Ben Round, who's there in third.
I'll tell you what that is, that's slight deterioration of the track. The track is getting a little bit wetter, so unfortunately the ultimate grip is not there as it was before. Well, having said that, nobody's bothered to tell Dan North, because he goes sub 1 minute once again. He is desperately on the catch-up, and there he goes. Yeah, he's half a second quicker than the man in front of him, of course, is now Jake Corty. Here they come across the line then, and it is still McPherson from McRae. Go on.
Dan North is in front of Jake Corty as well, so he's made up 2 positions on that lap.
Place of 13 points, there's only 7 points separating them. So live points update, 9-point advantage now to Dan North. That's a critical move as far as the championship goes. So McRae, he really needs to get a hurry on and try and find a way past McPherson, but he's already 4 seconds behind. We're not even halfway into the race. So I have to say McPherson is definitely looking good for his first gold medal of the year, I think. Let's see, where is he?
Yeah, I think Liam McPherson, I think it's maybe the first time we've seen Liam McPherson with us. So
yeah, I think you're right. You're saying he's one of your men at Scarborough,
yeah? Well, I've seen him at Oliver's Mount a few times, and likewise Scott Aitken as well.
Okay, well, yesterday he got an 8th place and a 9th place. So, you know, good results nonetheless, but nothing spectacular there. But in the wet, this is nothing short of spectacular. It really isn't. This is absolutely brilliant stuff. And McPherson leads McRae, Round, North, Corty, Allen, Aitken. Battle of the rookies there between Dean Carver and James Tucker. They're separated by a couple of seconds. They're arguing over 8th place. And good pace there from the rookie riders. Osborne, Colt, Dwyer, Big Woodall, Joe Baldry. That's a little bit of an MZ battle going on there. Where's my old mate, Mr. Rogers? Not coming out to play this time. Don't blame him in these conditions. But right, Roland there, not checking the timing being used, that non-working transponder. Somebody very lonely coming across the line there. Robert Carver, I think, a long way back as the leaders now rejoin us once again. That is McPherson from McRae. Gap down to 4.3 seconds, actually. And then Dan North right behind McRae as he moves past Ben Round this time. So Corty relegated to 4th, then Robert Allen and Aitken, Carver and Carver will come across the line. Those guys separated by about 4 or 5 bike lengths.
There's Colt Dwyer, the number 26 machine, coming across the line now. He's found his way through on the number 11 machine of Mark Osborne, which is good news for him. There is the 75 of Pete Woodall. He is 8th position in class, but 13th overall. Joe Baldry just found his way through into 12th overall on that lap. And a little bit of chat on the radio there, looking around the circuit. And there are the race leader coming through the left-hander at Schwantz and McLean. So looking around the circuit, they can't see anything. And what's the update?
Somebody's gone down somewhere. Didn't quite hear. What it did hear though was rider up and okay, which is obviously the main thing we want to hear. So we'll wait and see who doesn't trip the timing beam somewhere at some point.
First splits are coming through. Liam McPherson and Luke McRae are through that first split and very close stuff for that 3rd position, because Jake Curtis back at Stephen Allen, who's on purple in sector number 1, 59.4 compared to 59.5 of the 2 guys in front of him. So that is a very close battle for, that's a third position overall, involving 4 riders, but down the back straight, through the chicane and onto the start-finish straight. Once again, we are over half-race distance now. This is the end of lap number 6, and it's Liam McPherson who leads the way. There's Luke McRae, bike number 16. Dan North ahead of Ben Round, Jake Corty, and the 72 of Stephen Allen all across the line now. Only half a second separating Round, Corty and Allen as they head towards Redgate.
And Allen there with the fastest first second time, goes purple, green overall for a best overall. It's into the 31s as well. That's a very rapid time indeed. That's what you need to be on the first couple of rows. It is Chris Rowland we've lost, unfortunately, on there, the man with the no working transponder. So he is going to tumble down the order and obviously give everybody who was ahead of him, or behind him, sorry, an extra place there. Battle for the rookies between Tucker and Carver. Still going Tucker's, or he's going Tucker's way now. And over the line we go. Everybody safely accounted for inside the top 20 now. First, and their gap is down to 4 seconds, but that's still a very comfortable gap indeed. And McRae and North now separated by just that one place. So it is at McRae's advantage at the moment, but the difference is 4 points. So that's going to give a 12-point advantage to Dan North next time round. And everybody, again, that groove must have dried out somewhere, because all but the leader goes sub 1 minute. In fact, they're quite low, you know. We're low 59, 59.2. The leader's doing a 1 minute 4, so that's quite strange. Maybe he's on his own, he's getting lonely, he's getting bored, he's got nobody to play with, whereas, of course, as the others, they can all see the guys ahead of them, and they're pushing on as hard as they possibly dare as the leader comes over the line again, and Liam McPherson comes across the line with a 32.8. Let's see what the others do. There we go, fastest lap of the race now for McRae with a 30.4, and it's a 31.0 for his title rival behind him. Ben round there, a 31.7. 31.7 also for Jake Cordy, and also Allen with a 31.3. So lots of chopping and changing as far as the lap times and the fastest second times, personal bests go. But I'm wondering if there's a slight dry line all of a sudden appearing where these guys are pumping the water out of the way, or maybe they're just getting more and more familiar with the conditions, because there's a lot of bikes there going sub 1 minute in the first sector, which of course is the kind of critical thing that we're looking for. We're now 7 laps into this 10-lap race, 3 laps to go. And looking good still for Liam McPherson, even though that gap came down a big way, actually. It was down to a 1.5 seconds in the previous lap. It was nearly 4 seconds. So Liam McPherson, tell you, Luke McRae, he really would like that 25 points, because what he ideally can do now is to try and put himself, McPherson, between himself and his rival. Oh, a bit of a chop and change there with Round and Cordy. Go on.
Stephen Allen's putting a 58 on that first split, 58.4, which means I think he would, that would put himself up in a 4th position overall as they come down the back straight here. But it's going to be very close between Liam McPherson and the number 16 machine of Luke McRae as they come through Robert Chicane very shortly indeed, because Luke went 1.2 seconds quicker in that first split. And here they are side by side, in fact. Luke McRae takes the race lead from Liam McPherson, and looks like Liam there just didn't quite get the drive as they came out of Robert Chicane.
Dan North also went a quicker, second or so quicker than his rival in the first sector there as well. So it's all chopping and changing. Maybe it's an issue with McPherson's bike, I'm not quite sure, because he had a big old gap there all of a sudden. All of a sudden he's getting a little bit slower, around about 2 seconds slower than his rivals in that first sector. And it is Allen there who moves up with the fastest lap as well, goes past Round and Cordy.
And what Luke McRae would want here as well is if Stephen Allen can get in front of Dan North.
Well, we've got 2 laps left. They're all very determined riders out there, of course. They really don't care about the class battle. They want to beat everybody around them, in front of them, beside them, anywhere else they are. So you're right, it's far from settled, isn't it?
Stephen Allen was 0.9 of a second behind Dan North as they started this penultimate lap, and he lapped 0.8 of a second quicker than Dan North.
But look at Dan North, he was only 0.5 of a second behind Liam McPherson, and he went... 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds quicker.
Yeah, McPherson.
He's got a mistake or an issue or something like that. Not quite sure. Obviously, we can speculate on anything we like there. I think McPherson's been passed by North out the back, looking at the way the lights just went out there. I think McPherson is running into some sort of problem, which would be a great shame for him, because after leading like that, that was absolutely spectacular stuff. We'll wait and see us coming down the straight back towards us. We're going to have some back markers to play with as well. That's a back marking bike there coming out of the Robert Chicane there. Here comes the leading battle, while 3 abreast across the line. How close do you like your racing?
Dan North leading the way from Luke McRae. So Dan North, just when we were thinking he maybe overcome the 3rd place, he takes the race lead, and he leads by 1/100th of a second over Luke McRae as we start this final lap. But Stephen Allen seems to have the pace here as Dan Hartle looks across and moves out of the way of the leading riders. So North, Luke McRae and Allen, then it's McPherson, Round, Corty and Aitken, 11.8 seconds away, but only 2.4 seconds covering the top 60.
0.7 on the second, yeah, that's 0.8 of a second, so that's absolutely ridiculous. Those guys absolutely flying. So we're going to have to wait and see where they end up. Obviously, this is very much a battle for title honours as well. And is that battle down to 2 or 3 bikes? It's 2, isn't it? They're at
two heading
not
around
sure
the
which
right
2 they are. I'm thinking it's got one of those has got to be North, because he just suddenly sounded the pace, and I think McRae might go with him.
McRae, I think, is out in front there. We'll watch on the timing screen here, and I should see the number 16. There it is, Luke McRae. He leads, but it was a personal best in that first split for Luke McRae, in fact. And
Wow.
Stephen Allen there, he went quicker than Dan North in the first split as well, but I don't think it's quite enough.
McRae is being shown as being credited with the lead coming out of the sector there. Obviously, they're going to have the outbreaking battle going into the tricky air conditions at Roberts there. They're 3 abreast, are they? No, 2 abreast, side by side. They're leaning on each other coming out. The guy, one of them's gone down. I'm not quite sure which one, and they come across the line.
It's Dan Luke McRae coming across the line.
That is Dan North, I think.
It is. It's Dan North, unfortunately, who's gone down.
Oh, that's a great shame. Within sight of the line, Dan North takes a tumble into the scenery. He goes. That will be nil points for Dan North. But this, as far as Luke McRae goes, this could not have worked out better at the end of the day, because this is going to hand him the advantage going into the last race of the year. So all of a sudden, that 27 points gives him 507 points. So he's got a +9 advantage going into the last race. So as far as the McRae family go, obviously brothers Max and Ollie will be cheering him on to the rafters. And was it Liam doing the proposing earlier in the year?
Luke.
It was
Luke or Max?
Luke. I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
I'm getting confused.
Two of them got married.
Yeah. I think it might have been Luke. You know. We'd have to go back.
I think it was.
I think it was Luke. So obviously the Donington circuit definitely proving an interesting one in his life. That was desperately close. They were really going for it, the pair of them. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened, but
obviously Luke McRae just making his way back into the garage round the back here, and he'll be thrilled with that result. It's 25 points for him.
Oh yeah. So all of a sudden it's advantage McRae going into the last race of the year. That will be later on this afternoon. There'll only be one more race after their last race, and that will be once again the rookie and overall mini twins as well. So we get rid of the 500 ThunderBike sheet. Goodbye ThunderBike sheet.